Today we have a 2012 Honda CRZ hybrid 1.5 motor. The customer was in someplace else getting the oil changed, and they said the left front, which is your driver's side, tie rod was loose. We're going to show you where that's located and how to replace it. He was told when he took it in someplace that the left front tie rod was loose, and as you can see, it is. That's something you got to replace. If you let that go, that could actually make you lose control of the car when it snaps. We got the tire off, of course, and you can see that tie rod is loose. And like I said, if this snaps, you lose control of the car as far as steering, and you don't want that to happen. So first thing we're going to do, I'm going to break this nut loose, and then I'm going to take this cotter key off. You got to break this loose, and I like to do it when it's still hooked up. Break it loose like that. And you don't have to. You can see it's moving. It's a little rusty, of course. The car's got 300,000. See, that's moving, that nut is. Now what you want to do is take that nut, push it back up, just snug against there, just like that. Now this cotter key's got to come out, and with the new tie rod in, they do give you a new one, so you can cut it if you'd like, unless it just wants to come out nice and easy. Or you can do that. Now, of course, you can pull that out through the other side. If you're having problems with that, just cut it off short. This is 19, put that on there and just hit it. It comes off just like that. I mean, I wouldn't recommend doing this if you were gonna reuse this, of course, but since it's bad, it doesn't matter. And we're just gonna knock that out like that. I already checked it, and the other one looks a lot like this. I kept this nut pretty much where it was, and you can count like 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, 13, 14, about 14 turns. But if I leave this nut on, it should, as long as the tie rod looks the same, you should be fairly close. You still have to get alignment, but it should still be fairly close for now. You can see that they're pretty much the same length and everything. So it's going to be really close when we put it back on. And you can see it's heavier built than factory, and it does have a grease fitting on the top. Now, sometimes they give you all the stuff that you need for this one. And you got to read the directions, which is a good idea. You're going to want to put your grease fitting in. You don't have to tighten it up yet, but just put it in. Sometimes they start good and sometimes they don't. These are supposed to be pre-greased, but I'd still put a couple squirts into it when you're done. Okay, that's started. This is the cotter key you're going to have on the bottom. And we read the directions, and this one, for whatever reason, not all of them have that, has a washer on the bottom, and then your castle nut. So we're going to go install it. All right, we're going to go about 14 turns. There's 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, 13, 14. Look at that, it's real close right there. So it's going to get us in the ballpark. And that doesn't apply, of course, if it looks different or it's longer or whatever. Depends on the manufacturer. And it actually slides in there nicely. Okay, not all of them have the washer. This one does. That's what it says according to directions. Put our castle nut. And then we're going to torque it down. Anytime you're torquing something down, it's always good to check 2 or 3 references just to make sure you get the right thing, the right spec. Okay, all right, we're supposed to torque this to 40 foot-pounds. There we go. Once you torque it to spec, you got to line up the castle nut so you can put your cotter key through it. I'm trying to stay out of the way of the camera. And then we just gotta pull these down so it doesn't move. Just like that. And push one that way and one the other way. Now you can see this is slotted right here. So you can get the proper size wrench. I just grab crescent wrenches. I don't have to worry about it. So you just tighten this up like that. And at this point, now you can go back and add some grease to it until this fills up. And then you install the tire. This is a 7 right here. And I'm just gonna snug that. You don't have to go too tight with that. Start them by hand. Now we tighten it in a crossing pattern. And now you can see our wobble is gone. Once we get on the ground, we'll double check our nuts to torque specs. And that's all it takes to do an outer tie rod end on a 2012 Honda CRZ.